Hey, I want to take a moment and tell you how grateful I am that you are willing to come on the Military Millionaire podcast. This show has really grown a lot over the last few years, and there's been a lot of incredible guests. So thank you for coming on, and know that I don't accept everybody who applies, not by a long shot. So the fact that you've made it this far means that I think highly of you, or at least you said the right things, right? So thank you, thank you. I look forward to getting to know you better, recording with you. A few notes for the show before we get into the how to utilize Zoom. Number one, I get this question all the time. Swearing is totally fine. I just ask that if you're going to swear, use it in a way that adds to the conversation. So, like if you say the F word because you feel like that really emphasizes how you feel about something, I'm totally cool with that. But if you just get lost on a thought and the F word is like, I can't think of what to say, so I'm going to drop this word a million times, yeah, I'll probably cut that out. But not a big deal. We're all military, or a lot of us are military, so we're totally cool with it. Know that we may throw you some hardball questions. If you stumble or whatever, we can cut it out. We can make it so that, our goal is to make you look good so that when we share the podcast, you're willing to share it to your audience as well, so that we can grow together. That's the whole point of this. Get you some credibility, get us some credibility, and just help the community grow as a whole. So again, thank you for being a part of that. And when this episode airs a few weeks down the road, I'll be sure to send you an email that has a whole bunch of ways that you can share it, as well as an audiogram where we pull just the audio in your face, your beautiful face, and it'll be good. I'm really excited about this. Now, I want to walk you through a few things that will help this show go a little bit better, and more importantly, will help you sound and look like a rock star, because ultimately the whole point of this is to help you sound and look good to both our audience and to your audience, right? So we don't want to set you up for failure. First note is that now with Zoom, when you log into the platform, you will have to wait a moment. It'll get a little notification down here that tells me I have to accept you into the invite, into the chat room. That is something that's changed fairly recently due to all the coronavirus, COVID type stuff, the security flaws that came out. So now I have to accept you in. It may take a moment. Alex, when he is co-hosting with me, we record the intro before the show where we talk a little bit about how I got to know you and what we're going to discuss today and why we're excited about it. If that's running a little bit late, or if it doesn't notify me in my ear when you log in, so if it feels like you're sitting there for a few minutes, it's probably just that I didn't get the notification and we're still chatting. We'll let you into the chat room in just a minute. Don't worry about it. The very first thing that we need to discuss is the importance of these bad boys. Now, I know I'm not wearing them right now because I'm recording on my own, but you need to have a set of headphones. They don't have to be anything like this, although if you're going to go something nice that you want to use a lot, the Sony 7506, these are incredible. They're studio grade. Most professional podcasters I know use these headphones, and they're very affordable. They're, as far as quality headphones go, they're great. Highly recommend a pair of headphones. In fact, I would really ask that you at least have something. And the reason is, if you don't have headphones, when we speak to you, whatever your speaker setup is on the laptop or at the desktop or whatever, will get picked up by your microphone and it'll echo and it gives feedback, and it really kind of hinders the sound. Now, if you don't want to have a full mic and headphone setup, you can do something like this. This headset is also fairly affordable. The quality is, well, you're not going to compare to this beautiful baby, but there's some Blue Yetis. There's some really affordable mics or headsets that work. Again, the equipment list that I sent you has links to all this. So if you want some of my recommendations, I've got some very affordable options in there, and then I've got the more sexy options in there as well. But look, the point is that the audio is the most important part of a podcast. Absolutely. More important than the video, audio. So make sure that you sound good. When you're logging in, just to make sure you're pulling from the right one, you're going to go down here to where this microphone is. You can mute yourself by clicking this button. So when you do that, you are officially muted, except that you can still hear me because I'm not talking through the Zoom chat right now. And you unmute. Now you're going to go in here. You open this. You can click. You can see which speaker and headphone it's set up. So you can see I'm using the Scarlett 2i2, which is the audio interface for this bad boy, for both the speaker and the microphone. But if you go to test speaker and microphone, it'll ask if you hear a ringtone. If you hear it, say yes. If not, you can change this around. That should hear it through your headphones. And then you can go here, you speak. So you say, hello, hello, hello. And you saw the input level. And then I heard it. You'll hear it come back in your headphones. So you say yes. And then you're good. That's how you set up your audio. Now for video, you can click this to start the video and click this again to stop the video. I'd prefer that you leave it on the whole time. The only reason it's not on right now for me is because I found out that if I turn that on, the actual screen recorder won't record with the webcam. I can't have it dual source, so I had to pick one or the other. I went with the demo. Now, a few other things that you can do in here. Number one, you can choose a virtual background. So if your face is up, you can pick something like this, and it'll have that background behind your head. So if you don't have an exciting background, you can use one of these. It's cool. It's not perfect. You can still kind of see a silhouette around you, but if you have ugly room behind you, that's fine. It is what it is. If you were doing something where you want to share your screen, you can share your screen here. Simple enough. You can go to, you just click this button right here, boop, share screen. It gives you the options. You do it. Obviously, I'll be recording. And then if you need to send a message to one of us while we're talking, you can go into this chat room and you can either send it to everyone or you can send it to whoever's in the meeting individually, privately, and we'll see that. So if you need to say it like, hey, I got to go in 5 minutes, I would rather you type it into the chat like that than say it on the audio where I'm going to have to edit it out later. So food for thought. You may notice me and my co-host talking back and forth in there at some point about whose questions next, whatever. Just ignore that. It's supposed to be in the private chat, but hey, you never know. Oh, and I mentioned it. We are recording video, so please come dressed to impress. Ooh, but I don't really care if you dress to impress, but come prepared to record videos. So if you have to go, and if you're a lady, you have to go do your makeup, please do that before we record. If you're a dude, you got to shave your face. Please do that before the recording time. And just, if you want to be in t-shirt, I'm cool with it. However you want to portray yourself, I'm all about it. But please just be ready to record the video piece when we start recording. A few other notes to help with the video and the audio. I recommend that like an hour before the show, you reboot your computer so that there's nothing else open. So don't open a whole bunch of stuff. Close out Windows, close out web browsers, close out things that stream or stuff that slows your computer down. And then if you can hardwire into the internet, that's way better. But if you're on Wi-Fi or even if you've got other people in, please talk to your kids about the bandwidth and explain to them that, if you're at the house, that it's imperative that they allow you to record the show in peace. And I say that because I've had a couple guests where their kids got on YouTube and you can tell, instantly the audio quality dives down and they start to cut out like this. And it's just not very conducive. It's a pain. Then you got to kind of pause stuff, wait for the person to disappear to go fix, to go help with everything. It's just not necessarily ideal. So please ensure that people aren't streaming and using up all the bandwidth because the internet is going to be just as important for audio as a microphone is. Recommend also having a quiet space. So I actually have about 4 feet from the end of my desk to the wall, and that gives me a decent audio. And then I have a sheet that I will hang up there if I'm going to be loud. But if you're right up against the wall, maybe a sheet or even a mattress or something, hang something up behind you that kind of deadens the sound because you don't want a whole bunch of echo coming back. I know if you're in a small room or a closet, it's kind of hard to get past that. But the less echo you have, the better you will sound, which is just going to be great for the quality of the show. And then if you can find decent lighting, so like this right now is just natural light, but even if you just have like a little desk lamp, it'll help a little bit. I have professional lighting that I don't have on right now, but you'll see it when we start recording. But just make sure you've got some light. The goal is more light on your face than from behind, because if you have it from behind, it kind of silhouettes you out like old mobster, like witness protection, where it's just blacked out and you just hear the voice around the silhouette. Not ideal for a video that's going to go on YouTube. So more light to the front. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but just something to make sure that people can tell who you are. Oh yes, and then I'm supposed to read this. Also, by participating in this recording of the Military Millionaire Podcast, you agree to allow FMTM LLC to record, distribute, and disseminate the video podcast in any manner. You also agree to allow FMTM LLC to retain rights to the produced media for potential future use in speeches, books, and in all other publication and distribution. Look, basically, that's just me covering my butt. Please just understand that if you record with us, it's going to be aired on YouTube and the podcast, so just make sure you don't say anything that you don't want people to be able to hear. And problem solved. Hey, once again, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show. I really look forward to recording with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. I'm excited. Let's get ready to rock.